Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus. Scott Dennis has the night off. Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, a road construction project that could drastically cut down on congestion on I-75. Soon, drivers will be able to take a new route and a north and south route between University Parkway and Fruitville Road. The Lorraine Road extension in Lakewood Ranch opens on September 6th, just ahead of snowbird season. And that's where we find ABC 7's Jess Daldrick joining us live tonight on the details of how this project may help traffic flow. Jess.
Good evening, Haley. Snowbird season will be here before we know it, and that's when Lakewood Ranch residents say that traffic on and around University Parkway is the craziest as drivers try to make their way to I-75. Now, with thousands of homes popping up in Lakewood Ranch as part of the Waterside project, the Lorraine Road will provide an alternative for drivers to get them where they need to be more efficiently.
The Lakewood Ranch Waterside project is bringing 5,100 new homes to the south side of University Parkway. An important part of that project and the first piece of the puzzle is the extension of Lorraine Road.
The infrastructure is going in ahead of all development. If you look at the development behind you, you'll see no housetops or anything. Roads are in, water's in, sewer's in, all of that stuff is in advance of construction.
Right now, Lorraine Road stretches from Route 64 to University Parkway. The extension will continue Lorraine Road down to Fruitville. Some Lakewood Ranch residents are counting down the days until the ribbon is cut on September 6th.
I'll go down University and then I'll cut across because 75 gets really crowded. Lorraine may be a better alternative.
When the project is complete, one side of Lorraine will have thousands of homes. The other, a park and an elementary school. So under the 4-lane road, you'll find a walkway.
So in order for the little kids to go back and forth across here, and we didn't want them hopping across the road, SMR decided to spend its own money. We spent about $1 million raising this road up so the kids could go underneath the road and not have to cross Lorraine Road.
The roadway projects in Lakewood Ranch don't stop there. Just west of Lorraine is Deer Drive at the intersection of University Parkway and the Outdoor Academy. Deer Drive will eventually run into the new Lakewood Ranch Boulevard extension, which, like Lorraine Road, will also take you south to Fruitville. That project, though, is still a year and a half away from completion.
I think it's going to be a real asset to this area, and it's going to bring Sarasotans into our area, which will be wonderful.
Now, all of these roads will be 4 lanes wide, 2 running north and 2 running south. Now, this entire Waterside project is expected to take about 20 to 25 years to finish. But again, Lorraine Road will open on September 6th, and Deer Drive and Lakewood Ranch Boulevard extension are expected to open in approximately 15 months. Reporting live in Lakewood Ranch, Jess Daldrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. A mid-season checkup now on sea turtle nesting on Longboat Key. The deputy police chief recently delivered his update on the town's sea turtle nesting ordinance to Longboat Key officials. It includes removing items such as beach chairs and umbrellas from the beach. There have reportedly been at least 12 cases of obstructions where police had to remove and impound the furniture because it was disrupting nesting. People must comply with the ordinance from May through October. The start of the 2017-2018 school year is in just a few weeks, and there will be more students in the classrooms. Florida public schools are expected to grow by 27,000 students in the next year. K through 12 enrollment is projected to rise from 2.83 million students this year to 2.86 million next fall. Some of the other trends in education: more students are enrolling in the English for Speakers of Other Languages program. And more students are taking advantage of dual enrollment programs where they can earn state college or university credits while still in high school. Always a great idea. Now let's head over to Bob, get a check on our almost weekend forecast.
Yes, Haley, things are still pretty much like they were the last few days. Very hot out there. The heat index at 100 degrees now, and not many storms around to cool us off. But that is all going to be coming to a change here pretty soon over the weekend. You can see we started off with lots of sunshine around, and then a few clouds moving in from the east there. You can see from the Van Wezel webcam. Temperature 99 degrees in Sarasota right now, and temperature as well now into the hundreds, 101. That's the heat index now. 79 in Orlando, 101 in Venice, 100 in Inglewood now, 101 in Arcadia, 103. That's what it feels like in Sebring. Well, there is a frontal boundary now moving through parts of the southeast. Now, this is a trough of low pressure that dives all the way down into the northern Gulf of Mexico over the weekend. And then a series of little disturbances will come along that and move through the state of Florida. That will bring us a much better chance of some widespread rainfall. Not so much on Saturday, but Sunday there will be a different story. Now there's a few isolated cells around, one near Arcadia and one just north of Lake Okeechobee, a rather large area there. This is about it. Right there over Arcadia. Some lightning strikes with it. Nothing going on now from Inglewood northward up into Manatee County at this hour. And one lone shower there approaching. It looks like the Sunshine Skyway Bridge and not too long from now. But that's it. So if you have any plans this evening, looks to be pretty good, but stay hydrated as temperatures are hot. Well, more in the forecast for the weekend and beyond coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. North Korea has launched another ballistic missile test, and U.S. officials now say they have determined it was another long-range missile, and this one flew for more than 40 minutes. That's further than the previous longest launch from a test that happened earlier this month. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has a look at the possible threat.
Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe condemning North Korea for launching yet another ballistic missile test. U.S. officials confirm it was an intercontinental ballistic missile that traveled for more than 40 minutes before landing off the coast of Japan. The Pentagon says the latest missile, like previous launches, was fired straight into the sky. But a top nuclear weapons expert says the flight time would allow the North Koreans to strike inside the U.S. mainland.
This pretty much is a clear demonstration of their ability to hit Seattle, Los Angeles, probably even the East Coast.
That chilling news comes just weeks after North Korea celebrated its first successful ICBM launch on July 4th. That two-stage missile shot some 1,700 miles into space, and at the time, experts warned, had the North Koreans angled the missile's trajectory for distance, not height, that missile could come close to Seattle. President Trump has said that North Korea would not be allowed to build a missile that could hit inside the continental U.S.
We have two inexperienced, impulsive, really untested leaders. So the risk is very high that one of those or both might miscalculate.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un called the July 4th missile test a package of gifts on Independence Day, prompting an emergency meeting by the UN Security Council, urging global and immediate reaction.
U.S. officials once again stressed they remain prepared to defend the U.S. and our allies, and military action is still an option. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
And some breaking news out of Washington. Another shakeup. President Trump has just tweeted that he is naming Homeland Security Secretary John F. Kelly as White House Chief of Staff, ousting Reince Priebus. The announcement follows some simmering tensions between Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci, who recently took aim at Priebus, also on Twitter, and in a New Yorker article, took many of him calling out Priebus to be investigated as a leaker. Meanwhile, Senate Republicans are coming up short on a bill to overhaul health care. After 7 years of promises, the GOP was unable to make good on their vow to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. The last-ditch effort to water down Obamacare fell one vote short during an overnight Senate session. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has put the health bill on hold and announced that the Senate would move on to other legislation next week. The fatal and dramatic blow to the GOP health care plan was delivered by Republican Senator John McCain. Returning this week after being diagnosed with brain cancer, McCain voted down the so-called skinny bill. The 80-year-old is now heading back to Arizona. He will begin cancer treatment on Monday. McCain has been diagnosed with primary glioblastoma, a type of brain tumor. After he recovers, McCain plans to return to D.C. in September. Still to come on your Suncoast News, preventing your personal information from getting stolen at the gas pump. A Florida man says he has an invention that will stop the theft. And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast, plus keeping your mind sharp if those brain training games really work in HealthSmart.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here. Because
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
The Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio charmed us all and crippled the competition. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetzy. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Alfa Romeo got a lot right with the Giulia, but the handling alone is sufficient reason to get one. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Over the past few years, gas skimmers have been discovered across the state and on the Suncoast. The devices are installed by crooks to steal customers' credit and debit card information. But a man in Sanford, Florida says he has an invention that can stop these thefts. Chris Gilpin invented the gas pump Sentry 6 months ago. The device is put inside the gas station, and when the pump is pried open, an alarm goes off, alerting employees which pump was compromised. The system also sends out an alert through the app. According to the Department of Agriculture in Florida, nearly 300 skimmers were found on pumps since the beginning of this year.
We know paying at the pump is not going to change. We just need to make sure that gas stations are doing a little bit more to protect our financial information.
Gilpin says plans are already in the works to install his device at stations in the Sanford area. This is very smart.
Yeah.
Every time someone invents something like this, you think, why didn't we think of this?
If you think about it, the gas pump then becomes a home, what he's saying, and so you put an alarm on it.
It's an alarm system.
And then, you know, everyone's got their phone, they get their door is broken into, they get alerted. Same thing with this. So
same thing.
Kind of apply a different logic to gas pumps. You know, an easy fix there, and could be an easy.
It could be a big money maker for him too. Yeah.
We are looking at some nice weather, albeit hot. We've had a lot of nice beach weather around Van Wezel webcam. Bodie's been pretty nice too out there with a little breeze at times. It keeps things a bit cooler, but with the water temperature in the upper 80s to low 90s, not much, but you can take what you can get right there. We look at some clouds every once in a while moving in from the Gulf of Mexico from this tower cam on the Van Wezel, and not many storms around. It's been quiet all week long. Weather headlines again showing this frontal system coming down over parts of Georgia now. Will there be more storms on Sunday as a result of that? And not only that, that front comes down, hangs around a little bit, trough of low pressure develops, and we see a series of these little disturbances move along that. and that means it will stay stormy right through the work week. And then tropics, we saw a system yesterday kind of flare up. The National Hurricane Center gave it a 30% chance developing over the next 5 days, and now they're not even concerned about it. So it went away pretty quickly. Well, the Titan radar picture shows that front now from the Carolinas stretching through Tennessee, producing some strong gusty winds, downing some trees and power lines as well. South Carolina's had a couple of big storms there. And now we have this old trough hanging around to the north of us. That's really suppressed our high pressure ridge down to the south. We're getting this westerly component, and that's really brought the high humidity up. You felt it this afternoon with the feels like temperatures in the low 100s. Only 1 or 2 lone showers out there in the Gulf and a few isolated cells along the East Coast. And this is not our typical pattern, and we're not going to really get back into it because of that trough. We'll see that westerly flow stay with us through all of next week. Heat index came down 1 degree. It's down to 99, cooling things down a little bit there. West wind at 13, the pressure 29.93 inches, just 1 point above standard pressure. So the pressures have been falling as of the last 48 hours. Expect the clouds to be around. Now, there is going to be another chance for some morning showers. They'll be isolated, scattered showers or an isolated thunderstorm in the morning along the coast. And then if we see anything at all, the rain chance only at 30% appears to be inland, east of I-75, pushing toward the East Coast. I mentioned this area right here. This was the one we were watching, but notice what's happening. Not much left of it. Just a little bit of thunderstorm activity, no organization at all. We'll watch it as it continues to progress toward the west, but a lot of dry air there, just not allowing it to develop at this point. Elsewhere in the Caribbean and throughout the Gulf and the Atlantic, all is quiet here. Now, get a look at this. This is the futurecast for Friday. A few showers spotting up here and there, and we see that all pushing to the east due to that westerly wind. And then tomorrow, look for, as I said, a slight chance for an isolated coastal shower. It looks like in the late morning, early afternoon, but the focus will be in the interior portions of the viewing area on Saturday afternoon. Now, here comes Sunday. The front comes down and could bring some big storms, rough weather if you're traveling northbound on I-75 on Sunday morning. Could be rough going. And then this comes down all the way into Florida and west central Florida. Showers and storms late morning, early afternoon, and looks as though it could even be active Thursday, or I should say Sunday afternoon late, even though that model wasn't depicting it. They could still be around. Temperatures now across the U.S. much cooler over the Northeast and throughout the Great Lakes in the 70s there, 101 in Dallas. The forecast for boaters looks to be a bit breezier than it has been. Southwest winds at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be running right around 2 feet. A moderate chop in the bays and inland waters. The low tide upcoming 11:20. A high tide will be at 5:04. Sunset at 8:22. Sunrise 6:52. A slight chance for showers overnight. 79 for a low tomorrow. The heat index, unfortunately, at 100. And 30% chance for scattered storms late in the day. Inland areas, a slight chance for showers along the coast in the morning. But look at this. Boy, what a drastic change. Sunday morning should be okay. We'll start to see those showers and storms really, they'll fire up late morning, afternoon. And then it stays high right through Thursday, and the temperatures cool down as a result of the increased clouds and the showers around. Haley.
Thank you, Bob. Now the Suncoast Traffic Watch. Traffic is backed up on I-75 in the northbound lanes right near University Parkway. In health news tonight, the current protocol is that you should always finish your antibiotics, even if you feel better. Choosing not to finish them, medical experts say, increases antibiotic resistance. But a new analysis published in the medical journal, the BMJ, now claims that completing a course of antibiotics may instead increase the risk of resistance. Researchers say the complete the course advice dates back to the very early days of antibiotic use, and there's little evidence to back it up. They say it could be leading to overuse of antibiotics, but many doctors are skeptical. It's a billion-dollar business. Brain training games. Ads tout their cognitive benefits, claiming they improve memory, processing speed, and attention. But an AARP report calls the evidence behind these claims weak to non-existent. Executive Director of the AARP's Global Council on Brain Health says training to improve one type of cognitive ability, like memory, doesn't end up improving other skills, such as how fast you process information. So you might get better at the games, but not at everyday functioning. Instead, seek out educational opportunities, volunteer, learn a new skill, play games, or do activities like tennis and dancing. Coming up, frustrations following a deadly fair ride malfunction, why a witness says the investigation is being mishandled. Plus, a Florida driver finds herself in a 6-foot deep hole. What caused this to open up? Straight ahead.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life, you miss precious moments. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. Our simple 3-step process begins with a free evaluation, followed by an extensive preoperative exam to determine if you're a candidate for LASIK eye surgery. Depending on the results of your evaluation and eye exam, you and your surgeon will choose the LASIK option that works best for you. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation. That's a $100 value, free. Call the LASIK Vision Institute for your free evaluation and enjoy more of your life.
Call 1-800-813-0109. 1-800-813-0109.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that, you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Victims are speaking out after a ride broke apart at the Ohio State Fair this week, leaving 1 person dead and 7 others injured. The 40-foot tall ride, which spins in the air while swinging back and forth, broke apart while it was in motion. Officials say the Fireball ride passed multiple inspections, but some of those who survived the incident and witnesses are not satisfied with that explanation.
They were saying yesterday, oh, I don't know how this happened. The rides, they got it double inspected, and apparently they did not, because it's like, I just don't know, how does that happen if they get inspected double, triple, that's unacceptable.
Ohio Governor John Kasich has ordered a full investigation into this incident. North of Tampa, emergency crews in Hernando County had their hands full when a car fell into a hole. Firefighters responded to the call early yesterday morning at an apartment building in Brooksville. They found the front end of the Chevy Malibu in a 6-foot deep hole with the back end raised in the air. And the driver was still inside. She said puddles covered the ground and confused her.
Water's clearly covering the sidewalk, but at least I thought the sidewalk was there. It wasn't. I went down. I went into the hole up to my neck, and I still was not touching bottom. I crawled out. I tried to get my car out, and the water took all the foundation into the house in the part of the driveway, and it's clearly down the other side of the apartment complex. It was gushing like Niagara Falls. The sidewalk is gone, and now the driveway's gone.
Fire Rescue says a water main break caused that hole that weakened the roadway. A tow truck did remove the car. No one was hurt, and police evacuated 2 nearby apartments as a precaution. Call this one gone in 60 minutes. Just 1 hour after buying a Ferrari worth about $260,000, an unidentified driver crashed it on a British motorway. Police say the Ferrari 430 was engulfed in flames when they arrived on the scene. When the fire was done, so was the car, as you can see. That is a sad pile of rubble there. The driver, who was nearby, only suffered minor bruises and cuts, which is pretty lucky. No other vehicle was involved in the crash. Wow, what a shame. Still to come on your Suncoast News, questions surrounding the water in Sarasota County, why Venice City officials are defending the quality of our local H2O.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service, quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Florida Studio Theater presents The Absolute Brightness of Leonard Pelkey, an award-winning Southeastern regional premiere featuring one man and a tour de force performance that audiences are calling spectacular, excellent, and amazing. Critics agree, calling it a brilliant and evocative performance that's both captivating and revealing. The Absolute Brightness of Leonard Pelkey is now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
For the last decade, SNS Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Tonight, Venice City leaders are responding to some claims that some of the Suncoast drinking water is filled with harmful chemicals. The allegations were published on a website which itself does not do specific water testing, but the site claims to have received some data. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley joins us now live from Venice with more on that story. Christopher.
Good evening, Haley. There are few things that get people's attention quite as much as a threat to their drinking water. But local officials say not to worry. They say the water is perfectly safe to drink. The data provided by Environmental Working Group, or EWG's website, claims to have received data containing water testing results from 2010 to 2015.
The data that they're referring to is incomplete and incorrect and doesn't even apply to our drinking water permit.
Len Bramble, Venice's assistant city manager, said from what he can see, the website is referring to water that filters out of the water cleaning process, not the drinking water itself.
What's left from our drinking water, which filtered out and combined with some of that drinking water, to dilute it before it's discharged back into the Intracoastal Waterway.
We spoke to EWG by phone on Friday. They said they stand behind their findings, then referred us back to their website, which says the results were received by the Environmental Protection Agency. They did tell us they do not conduct individual tests, but the city disputes the results, saying they meet EPA requirements and that the water is tested every day.
The drinking water in Venice is very safe to drink. We're in full compliance with our permits.
Northport, who also tests their water every day, says they're in full compliance with all of their permits as well.
That website appears to be claiming that it doesn't, when nothing could be further from the truth.
Northport filters much of their water with this, a reverse osmosis machine.
It pushes it at very high pressure through some very fine membranes and separates all the particulate matter out, so only the purest water comes out the back end.
Earlier this year, we visited the Peace River, Manasota Regional Water Supply Plant, where much of the Suncoast's drinking water comes from. They showed us the strict processes used to make sure the water is clean, safe, and within guidelines. Both the City of Venice and Northport said if any of the general public has questions, concerns, or wants to see for themselves how the water is cleaned, they would be happy to show you. On a side note, we noticed today while clicking through EWG's website that they do try to sell you water filters. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Christopher. Manatee County officials are trying to make sure media outlets across the Suncoast are ready for hurricane season and any other big emergencies. The county held an open house at its Public Safety Center in Bradenton today to show members of the media their newest emergency preparedness equipment and kits. It's an opportunity for reporters to get some updated information on the county's response plan, and then we can bring it to you in the event of a storm.
Day to day, every American citizen has access to digital media, to social media. They have a smartphone or they know somebody with a cell phone. And we didn't have that the last time we had a major storm in the state of Florida. So a lot of the things that we do in media now is we try to reach people on those mobile devices and through social media.
The demonstration was also part of hurricane prep activities, which Bob is very familiar with. And Bob, we've had a quiet season so far, but you keep mentioning this. We haven't reached the peak of the season yet.
Right. 90% of the storms occur from August 1st all the way through November 30th. So we've got a long way to go. And although things are looking pretty good right now and the weekend, not a problem. However, we'll talk more about this trough of low pressure coming down and what it means for our overall weather pattern shaping up over next week. Nice day today. A lot of fair weather cumulus clouds around. This is the Punta Gorda webcam looking out over in the Peace River there, and looks to be pretty quiet right now. So if you have any evening plans, it's just going to be warm. That's all. With no cooling showers around, it looks as though things are going to stay fairly hot with the heat index in the upper 90s right through the next 3 hours at least. Arcadia getting one storm there. We have one in the southeastern portions of Highlands County right now. This moving off basically to the east with that westerly wind. They had a few lightning strikes there. It is weakening. There's a less than 20% chance we could see a few showers out here in the Gulf of Mexico, but not much for us here along the west coast of Florida. Currently, talk about the heat index. Well, it's high. It's at 99 right now. Sunshine, a few clouds. Dew point is at 74. Well, more on the changing weather pattern coming up in just a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. His plight moved the world. His parents tried everything. All right. Thank you, Bob. Well, his parents tried everything to keep him alive, but now baby Charlie has died. ABC's Brian Clark takes a look back at this controversial case.
The long, tragic battle of a critically ill British baby has come to an end. Baby Charlie Gard has died in a hospice just shy of celebrating his first birthday. Thursday, a British judge ordered that Charlie be taken to a hospice to have his ventilator removed. Charlie suffered from a rare disease with no cure. He had brain damage and was unable to breathe or move his limbs unaided. His parents had petitioned the judge to allow Charlie to travel to the U.S. for experimental treatment. But an American doctor who flew to England to examine the baby determined it was too late. Charlie's parents finally accepting their son would never recover.
Our son is an absolute warrior, and we could not be prouder of him, and we will miss him terribly.
British doctors had always maintained that Charlie's genetic condition was terminal and that any treatment would only prolong the suffering. The fight to keep Charlie alive had gone on since March. Sympathy swelled around the world, including from the Pope and President Trump. Brian Clark, ABC News, New York.
New details tonight on a deadly accident in Florida involving tennis star Venus Williams. The Palm Beach Gardens Police Department is releasing some police body camera video of that crash. It shows a police officer telling Williams she likely caused the accident, but did not cite her, saying it appeared the actions of the third driver left her in a bad spot. Security video released earlier shows another car turning left had cut off Williams, forcing her to stop in an intersection. When she restarted, the light for another car turned green and it plowed into Williams's SUV. The passenger in that other vehicle, 78-year-old Jerome Barson, later died from his injuries. Firefighters are investigating a white powder scare at the federal courthouse in downtown Miami. A captain with Miami Department of Fire Rescue says the white powder was reported at the courthouse on North Miami Avenue earlier this afternoon. A hazardous materials crew was called to the scene. 6 people were reportedly decontaminated after coming into contact with that white powder. The state of Florida trying to get rid of a Rolex watch, a 12-pound silver bar, diamond earrings, and some other pricey items. More than 50,000 items valued at more than $630,000 are set to be auctioned off tomorrow in Fort Lauderdale. The items are abandoned things that were left behind in bank safe deposit boxes. After a safe deposit box has been abandoned for 3 years, the bank sends out the contents to a state vault where the items are held for another 2 years. After that, the valuables are auctioned off and you can buy them. Next week, there are 2 opportunities to learn more about the plans for the new Venice Library. Sarasota County is inviting the community to learn about the status of this project. There will be 2 engagement sessions on August 2nd, where you can learn about the library's site plan and the architectural features. Residents will also be able to talk to the architects who designed the new library, as well as county staff. Those sessions will be at the Venice Community Center at 10:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. Now, the Bradenton Area River Regatta isn't the only boating competition in town. Today, kids at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Sarasota County took part in the first ever Rock the Boat Regatta. They spent weeks creating boats made out of duct tape and cardboard. That is it. Today, 12 teams got to test their boats in the water. The kids competed for 3 awards: the most creative, the fastest boat, and the prestigious title of Ultimate Rock the Boat Regatta Champion. The competition was fun and educational. The students had to use some engineering and math skills to make sure their ship didn't sink.
Boys and Girls Clubs has lots of great programs, and some just look like fun, but there's always an educational message there. Here, like I said, the kids learned about engineering, about how to make a boat float, about the dynamics of it and where they would sit. So it really was a message there behind the scenes.
We spent about 7 hours a day, yeah. Our first boat collapsed. Yeah.
In the rain. Even though it took a long time, though, it was really fun.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a bonding moment.
Yeah.
Way to go, ladies. Organizers of the event say that they hope that next year is even bigger and better. Lots of fun. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a new way to get more people to quit smoking, what the FDA plans to do to reduce cigarette addiction, and refund checks from Wells Fargo, why the bank will soon be paying out its customers millions of dollars.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare.
Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. Keep up with your investments and market trends by watching the ABC7 Stock Report. Get a recap of all the day's stock market activity. Be sure to watch your Suncoast News at 6 for the ABC7 Stock Report, sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice: choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
The FDA may soon make a big change to try and get more smokers to kick the habit. The Food and Drug Administration wants to lower nicotine levels in cigarettes so they aren't so addictive. The FDA has had the power since 2009 to cut nicotine levels, but it hasn't done so. The FDA is also giving e-cigarette makers more time for a review of their products already on the market. The FDA commissioner says the agency needs time to focus on nicotine regulation and not be distracted by the debate of whether e-cigarettes help smokers quit. Now, another reason to drink to your health. A new study answers the questions of just how much alcohol may be good for you. ABC's Kenneth Moten has a breakdown of the findings.
Whether it's a glass of wine at dinner or a beer at the game, a growing body of research shows alcohol in moderation can be good for your health. Now, a new study may give us yet another reason to raise our glasses. Researchers in Denmark surveyed more than 70,000 people about how much they drank, finding those who drank 3 to 4 days per week also had the lowest risk of developing diabetes. In women, this level of moderate drinking linked to a 31% lower risk than those who had less than 1 drink a week. The risk in men cut by 27%. Researchers also looked at total alcohol consumption, finding the lowest risk of diabetes in men who had 14 drinks per week and women who had 9 drinks per week. Strikingly similar to current U.S. guidelines. The findings were the same whether people enjoyed beer, wine, or spirits, though wine appeared particularly linked to a lower diabetes risk. But indulging too much comes with serious health concerns, so remember, drink to your health, but know when to put your glass down. With this Medical Minute, I'm Emily Rao.
Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. There's an accident on I-75 in the northbound lanes just before the University Parkway exit. As you can see, it's backing up traffic for miles. There is a long strip of red on the map. Now, let's head over to Bob.
Things have changed quickly there. Not too quickly here. It's pretty much the same story. Not many storms around. We have a little bit of isolated activity developing in the Gulf. There'll be much more, though, of those storms on Sunday as a result of a trough of low pressure, a frontal boundary kind of disrupting our pattern, and it stays stormy throughout the week next week. So quite a contrast to this week where we haven't had a lot of rain. Next week, a lot of rain. The tropics are still very quiet at this time. And as far as the outlook goes, we're looking at the webcam here. Things are pretty quiet. Fair weather cumulus clouds moving across the Peace River, and we haven't had a lot of rainfall along the coastal locations all week long. We'll start to see more activity developing in the Gulf and then working its way onshore, specifically Sunday and into next week. Right now, most of the shower and storm activity along the East Coast pushing away toward the Atlantic now. A few showers. Notice this little cell has popped up just recently over the last half hour or so. There it is, and It's getting closer to Inglewood and Venice. We'll keep an eye on it for you, but not too concerned as a result of these showers are kind of weakening as they approach the coastline there. And as far as our current conditions go, we have 90 degrees and the dew point is at 74. That's high. West winds, the pressure has been falling ever so slightly, 1 degree above average. This morning's low was 77, so a couple degrees higher than what it usually is. 97, the record set back in 1927. It's been a dry week, and our rainfall now deficit is at 2.41 inches, below average for the month thus far, over 4 inches for the year. Well, Futurecast showing some showers tonight, pushing off to the east and the interior portions. And then tomorrow we'll start off with partly cloudy skies. There may be an isolated shower here, late morning, early afternoon near the coast. And then not a lot of rainfall here, but then once I put the map into motion, you'll start to see this front come down and a little piece of energy with it. So Sunday morning, showers and storms, some moderate to heavy at times, and then continue to work off toward the east. We will see the potential for some heavy rainfall, I think, on Sunday and beyond. There's that front. A little unusual to see a cold front coming down right here this far south this time of year. The fronts usually ride high. This one will continue to sink all the way down into Georgia. It's not going to make it down here and cool us off, but it will change things up and bring us that onshore flow with a little bit more lift in the atmosphere, and that will allow us to see more storms, especially Sunday and beyond. 101 now. That's what it is in Dallas, the actual temperature. It's hotter in Minot, North Dakota than it is here in Sarasota. Detroit, not the case. Cooler there. Toronto at 72, 73 in the nation's capital, and 74 now in Boston. Well, for boaters, winds will be out of the southwest at 10 to 15 knots now. Seas will be running right around 2 feet, so a little higher seas due to the strong wind action and a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now has really warmed up, 91 degrees, about as warm as it gets here. Not much higher than that. We take that at the end of the Venice Pier. And 89 on the beach temperatures. UV index will still be high, at least on Saturday. It will come down considerably on Sunday due to the increased cloud cover in advance of that front. Low tide 11:20 and a high tide will be at 5:04. Another low tide at 11:27. Sunset at 8:22 and sunrise will be at 6:52. Well, the forecast checks out like this tonight. Partly cloudy. There's still a slight chance for some isolated thunder showers. 79 for a low. And warm, so that's warmer than average. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Now there will be a slight chance for a coastal shower just after sunrise, pushing toward the east. So that is not too out of the question there, but generally partly cloudy day, west winds at 10 to 15, 30% chance for storms. The extended forecast shapes up like this. Boy, it changes quick. Sunday at 70%, it bumps up rather high and stays that way through much of next week, with temperatures remaining into the upper 80s, a little bit cooler as a result of increased cloud cover and some storms around. Well, the summer doldrums are here, and that usually means fish don't bite a lot because the water temperature is just too hot. Well, we had a great day a couple of days ago despite that. Here's more. With calm seas and a bit of a haze, we made our way to the grass flats in the middle grounds of Sarasota Bay. Johnny's guests today were Jake and Kathleen. Using scaled sardines with a bobber, the competition was on.
Whoa!
You got the magic touch.
Ladyfish. I think you just cut off. Yep, he did. Oh, that's a good one there.
And while that lady got away, this beautiful one did not. That's right, meet the newlyweds who shared their vows just last week in Minnesota. They were here honeymooning right here along the Suncoast. While the seasoned angler caught the first few.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice mackerel. That's a big one. All right.
Nice.
Well, today we're out catching Spanish mackerel, I guess.
This time it was the novice who's only been fishing a handful of times who keeps the pressure on her husband.
Oh, whoa, whoa, quit reeling, quit reeling. There you go. Whoa, nice
Oh my
one.
goodness.
Kevin.
Biggest fish ever.
But the new groom was up to the task as he brings it up a notch.
There you go. Wow. Nice.
While he was getting quantity, she was busy getting quality as she scores this tasty treat, one of my favorites.
Trout. It is a trout. Like a nice trout.
A memorable day for the first week together as a married couple. The family that plays together stays together. Jake evens the score, though, with one of his own, a little smaller, but a keeper nonetheless. If the marriage is anything like the fishing trip, this one's going to be a fun run.
For snapper, trout, mackerel, we did it today. Hey, have a good day and take your kid fishing, because someday they may take you.
Well, congratulations to those two. Johnny actually gave them the trip for free. That was their wedding present. That's nice, absolutely. And I think they're in Disney right now. But anyway, Captain Trey Dietz, that's Captain Johnny's nephew, not nephew, grandson, took out Jay Tinsky, the fly guy. JT, the fly guy, catching this juvenile tarpon, and you are allowed to bring them out of the water below a certain amount of weight, and I believe it's 40 pounds or something to that effect. But again, a nice catch right there, and get a look at that dark shadow in the distance. That's a huge Goliath grouper, and there's Pup Pup checking it out. That's right, from Captain Kathy and Pup Pup right there out of Cortez. And Captain Brian Marcy caught this nice, well, he didn't catch it, but he took this young lady out, and she caught that big speckled trout. And there's been a lot of trout, as we saw with Captain Johnny right there. And Coach Steve Herrick, he's out there in Longboat Key, was catching pompano this week. Those snook are still biting. They also got some mangrove snapper, and so he says it's still pretty hot fishing, even though the water temperature's 90 degrees, 91.
Well,
fish got to eat, I guess.
They do
right.
eventually, that's right. All right, thank you, Bob.
All right.
Tonight, Wells Fargo is in the middle of yet another scandal. In a statement, Wells Fargo says it is, quote, extremely sorry for charging as many as 570,000 customers for car insurance that they didn't need. An internal review by the bank found about 20,000 customers may have defaulted on their car loans and lost their vehicles because of these unnecessary costs. Bank officials blame the problem on inadequate checks and balances, as well as flaws in the systems of the company that handled these insurance policies. Wells Fargo is promising to pay $64 million in cash. They're going to refund those customers. Entertainment news is next.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Get the hottest deals of the year during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Pack the family up in style in the all-new Chrysler Pacifica. With over 100 standard and available safety features, it's the ultimate family vehicle. Get yours today for just $24,999 or get America's best value. A new Dodge Journey for as little as $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Disney is mourning the loss of legendary Imagineer Martin "Marty" Sklar. According to a statement from Disney, Sklar died at his home in California yesterday at the age of 83. The company says Sklar worked closely with Walt Disney and led to the development of Disney's theme parks and attractions for decades. According to the Disney Parks and Resorts chairman, Sklar attended the opening of every single Disney park in the world. He will be missed. Jerry Seinfeld is topping a new list. Forbes magazine is naming him the highest paid comedian in the world. Between last June and this month, Seinfeld has earned $69 million. Most of his paychecks come from the reoccurring episode of the 90s comedy sitcom Seinfeld. Also on the list, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Amy Schumer, Kevin Hart, and Jim Gaffigan. Another 90s star, Jennifer Aniston, is preparing to make her return to TV. The Friends alum is reportedly teaming up with Reese Witherspoon for a new drama exploring the world of morning shows. I like the sounds of this. It will also examine the larger New York media scene that the shows are a part of. The untitled series will start looking for a home within the coming weeks, with pitches expected at premium cable outlets and streaming services. Here on the Suncoast, the city of Northport is kicking off its Movies on the Green series tonight. Families are invited to come out and watch Secret Life of Pets at 7:30 on the City Center front green at City Hall. On August 25th, the city will show the movie Moana, and then September 22nd, a showing of Sing. All the movies are free. You only have a few more chances to catch this summer's hair-raising circus. Bello, the comedic daredevil with an unmistakable foot-high hairdo, is giving his final performances for his show, Incredibello. The show has a unique mix of comedy acts and jaw-dropping daredevil stunts. You can check it out tomorrow at the historic Oslo Theater in Sarasota. There are 2 more performances, one at 2 p.m. and one at 5 p.m. Admission is $15 for adults and $12 for children. It's also a shorter show. I think it's about an hour, so if your kids can't sit still for that long, this is a really good option, and it's air conditioned. We'll be right back.
Fresh out of the box, the Alfa Romeo won us over. We went in skeptical and left in awe of this gorgeous machine. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.